Denzel's heart raced as he pulled up in front of the Grand Hotel. The building loomed ominously, its faded facade hinting at the mysteries concealed within. He had heard whispers about the hotel's dark past, but the allure of adventure was too strong to resist. Denzel was an aspiring writer, constantly seeking inspiration for his stories, and he sensed that this hotel held the key to a tale that would captivate readers. As Denzel stepped into the lobby, a shiver ran down his spine. The air was heavy with an eerie silence, broken only by the faint sound of his own footsteps echoing through the marble hall. The receptionist greeted him with a forced smile, her eyes betraying a hint of unease. Denzel couldn't help but wonder what secret she held. He was assigned to room 313, a room that had gained a sinister reputation over the years. It was said that those who stayed in that room experienced strange phenomena, from unexplained sounds in the dead of night to objects moving on their own accord. Denzel's excitement mingled with a creeping sense of unease as he made his way to the room. Inside, the room appeared ordinary at first glance. The furniture was worn, and the air carried a faint musty scent. Denzel unpacked his belongings and settled in, determined to unravel the mysteries of the hotel. He made notes of every detail, every oddity, hoping to piece together a coherent narrative. That night, as Denzel lay in bed, he heard the faint sound of footsteps outside his door. His pulse quickened, and he tiptoed to the door, pressing his ear against it. The footsteps grew louder, echoing through the hallway, before abruptly stopping. Denzel swung open the door, but the corridor was empty, bathed in an eerie silence. The days turned into weeks, and Denzel's obsession with the hotel deepened. He spent hours researching its history, discovering tales of disappearances and tragic deaths that had occurred within its walls. The more he dug, the more he realized that the hotel held a dark secret, one that had been carefully hidden from the public eye. Late one night, as Denzel sat hunched over his notes, he heard a soft, melodic hum emanating from the room next door. Curiosity got the better of him, and he ventured into the hallway, following the ethereal sound. The melody led him to an old, locked door concealed behind a dusty curtain. He knew he had stumbled upon something significant. Denzel's hands trembled as he fumbled for the key to the mysterious door. With a click, the lock gave way, and he stepped into a room frozen in time. Dust particles danced in the beam of his flashlight, revealing a forgotten space filled with antique furniture and fading photographs. As he examined the photographs, Denzel's heart skipped a beat. Each image depicted different guests, frozen in unnatural poses, their eyes filled with a haunting emptiness. The more he studied the pictures, the more he became convinced that the guests had fallen victim to a malevolent force that lurked within the hotel. Determined to uncover the truth, Denzel delved deeper into the hotel's dark history. He discovered an old newspaper article reporting a fire that had consumed the hotel several decades ago. The blaze had claimed numerous lives, and it was rumored that their spirits still haunted the building, seeking revenge for their untimely deaths. Haunted by the spirits' plight, Denzel resolved to communicate with them, to help bring closure to their tormented souls. He embarked on a series of paranormal investigations, armed with recording devices and cameras, documenting every spine-chilling encounter. During one particularly intense session, Denzel captured a ghostly apparition on film, a spectral figure with vacant eyes, its wispy form reaching out toward him. The image sent chills down his spine, and he knew he was on the verge of uncovering the hotel's darkest secret. Word of Denzel's findings spread, attracting the attention of locals and fellow enthusiasts of the paranormal. Together, they formed a team to investigate the hotel further, each member driven by their own curiosity and desire for answers. The team spent countless nights within the hotel's walls, enduring terrifying encounters and unexplained phenomena. Finally, after months of relentless exploration, they uncovered a hidden basement beneath the hotel. Within its dark, labyrinthine corridors, they stumbled upon a room filled with journals and diaries written by the hotel's past guests. These writings revealed a chilling pattern. A malevolent force had possessed the guests, driving them to commit heinous acts before succumbing to their own madness. The team's discoveries attracted the attention of the authorities, and soon the hotel was under investigation. As the truth unfolded, the hotel's grim past became public knowledge, forever cementing its reputation as a place of horror and despair. But Denzel couldn't help but feel a sense of melancholy amidst the triumph. The spirits had found their voice, but their tortured existence remained etched into the hotel's very foundations. Denzel knew that, although the story had reached its conclusion, the hotel's ominous presence would continue to haunt the nightmares of those who dared to cross its threshold. Denzel's relentless pursuit of the truth had come at a cost. The hotel had become an obsession, consuming his every waking thought. Sleepless nights and the weight of the spirit's presence had taken a toll on his sanity. He found himself tormented by nightmares, trapped between the realms of reality and the ethereal plane. As the investigation drew to a close, Denzel's fellow team members decided to move on, their thirst for the unknown quenched. They urged Denzel to let go, to abandon the hotel, and the spirits that had ensnared him. But Denzel couldn't turn his back on the tormented souls trapped within the hotel's walls. Driven by a mixture of compassion and compulsion, Denzel resolved to perform a final act of redemption. He organized a spiritual cleansing, enlisting the help of renowned mediums and paranormal experts. Together, they gathered within the hotel, armed with ancient rituals and incantations. The night of the cleansing arrived, and a heavy silence settled over the hotel. Denzel stood at the heart of the forgotten basement, surrounded by flickering candles and the whispered prayers of the mediums. The spirits, restless and yearning for release, gathered around him, their presence palpable in the frigid air. With each word uttered, each chant recited, the hotel trembled, as if resisting the exorcism. The battle between the forces of good and the malevolent entity that had plagued the hotel raged on. Shadows danced across the walls, and the room became charged with an otherworldly energy. Finally, in a climactic moment, the spirit's anguish was released, their souls finally finding solace. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, replaced by a sense of peace that enveloped the hotel. The team members stood in awe, witnessing the power of redemption unfold before their eyes. Denzel, exhausted but triumphant, knew that he had achieved his purpose. The hotel, once a place of darkness, could now rest in a state of eerie tranquility. As he stepped out into the moonlit night, he could still feel the lingering presence of the spirits, whispering their gratitude and bidding him farewell. Years passed, and Denzel's experience at the haunted hotel became a legend, whispered among those fascinated by the supernatural. He never forgot the horrors he had witnessed, nor the redemptive power of compassion. Denzel's writing took on a new depth, inspired by the twisted history of the hotel and his own personal journey. In the end, the hotel stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that even in the face of darkness, there is always the potential for light. Denzel's story, told through his novels, touched the hearts of readers, drawing them into a world where the line between the living and the dead blurred, and where redemption could be found in the most unexpected of places. And so the hotel continued to exist, its walls holding the memories of the past, but no longer haunted by the malevolent force that had consumed it. It stood as a silent witness to the triumph of good over evil, a reminder that even the darkest places can be transformed through the power of compassion and the relentless pursuit of truth. Francis checked into the old hotel with a sense of unease settling in the pit of his stomach. The place had an eerie ambience, with dimly lit hallways and creaking floorboards. The receptionist greeted him with a forced smile, but there was something about her eyes that made Francis shiver. As he made his way to his room, Francis couldn't shake off the feeling that he was being watched. The hotel's decor was outdated, and the wallpaper peeled off in places, giving the whole place a sense of neglect. He reached his room and unlocked the door, revealing a musty-smelling space that had seen better days. Despite his reservations, Francis decided to make the best of his stay. He had chosen this hotel for its solitude, hoping to find inspiration for his next novel. But as the hours passed, strange occurrences began to unfold. Objects would move inexplicably, and Francis would hear distant whispers echoing through the corridors. One evening, as he was sitting in the hotel's bar, Francis struck up a conversation with a middle-aged man named Henry. Henry claimed to be a former employee of the hotel and warned Francis to leave while he still could. He spoke of mysterious disappearances and unexplained deaths that had plagued the hotel for years. Intrigued and slightly disturbed by Henry's revelations, Francis delved deeper into the hotel's history. He discovered that the hotel had been built over a century ago and had changed ownership multiple times. Each owner seemed to meet a tragic end, and rumors of hauntings and curses surrounded the place. Unable to resist the allure of a good story, Francis decided to stay, hoping to uncover the truth behind the hotel's dark past. He delved into local archives, searching for any leads that would shed light on the mysterious occurrences within the hotel's walls. As Francis dug deeper, he stumbled upon an old newspaper article from decades ago. It detailed a gruesome murder-suicide that had taken place within the hotel. A couple, the Morgans, had checked in under mysterious circumstances, and their stay had ended in tragedy. The article mentioned strange rituals and the presence of a cult within the hotel, but the case had remained unsolved. Haunted by the story, Francis became consumed with the desire to find answers. He reached out to the local townspeople, seeking anyone who had lived through the hotel's dark history. But one by one, the townspeople shut him out, refusing to speak of the hotel's past. Undeterred, Francis continued his quest, determined to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. Little did he know that his relentless pursuit of answers would plunge him into a nightmare he couldn't escape. Late one night, as Francis sat in his room, poring over his research, a chilling wind swept through the open window, causing the curtains to billow. He felt a presence in the room, and a cold shiver ran down his spine. Suddenly, the room plunged into darkness, the lights flickering and dying. Fear gripped Francis as he fumbled for his flashlight, the eerie silence broken only by his racing heartbeat. As he shone the beam of light around the room, he caught a glimpse of a shadowy figure standing in the corner. Panic set in, and he bolted for the door, but it wouldn't budge. Frantic, Francis looked around for an escape route. His eyes fell upon a narrow staircase hidden behind a tapestry. He rushed towards it, feeling a glimmer of hope. But as he climbed the stairs, the air grew heavy, and he could hear faint whispers growing louder. Reaching the top of the staircase, Francis found himself in a dimly lit attic. Dust particles danced in the beam of his flashlight as he explored the room. The attic was filled with old furniture covered in white sheets, creating a haunting sight. As he cautiously made his way through the attic, Francis stumbled upon a hidden chamber. The door was slightly ajar, revealing a dimly lit room. Curiosity overpowered his fear, and he pushed the door open. What he saw inside froze him in his tracks. The room was adorned with ritualistic symbols and strange artifacts. The air was thick with an otherworldly energy. A single photograph caught Francis' attention, a faded image of the Morgans, the ill-fated couple from the newspaper article. They stood in front of the hotel, their eyes empty and their faces twisted with pain. Just as Francis was about to examine the room further, he heard footsteps approaching the attic. Panic surged through him, and he scrambled to hide. Peering through a crack, he saw a group of people dressed in black robes entering the attic. They spoke in hushed tones, their voices carrying an unmistakable air of malevolence. Unable to escape, Francis listened in horror as they discussed a ritual to be performed that night, a ritual that would unleash a dark force upon the world. The chilling realization struck him that the hotel had become a gathering place for a sinister cult responsible for the hotel's haunting history. As the cult members prepared for the ritual, Francis knew he had to find a way to stop them. He carefully maneuvered through the attic, trying to avoid detection. With each step, his heart pounded in his chest, his mind racing to devise a plan. Just as the cult members began their chant, Francis spotted an old fire alarm near the attic's entrance. He realized that triggering it would alert the authorities and possibly disrupt the ritual. Summoning all his courage, he sprinted towards the alarm and pulled it. The shrill sound of the alarm pierced through the hotel, shattering the eerie silence. Chaos ensued as the cult members scattered in panic. Within minutes, police sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder with each passing second. As the authorities stormed the hotel, Francis emerged from the attic, gasping for breath. He had exposed the dark secret hidden within the hotel's walls, but the horrors he had witnessed would forever haunt him. In the aftermath, the hotel was closed down, its cursed history laid bare for all to see. Francis, forever changed by his ordeal, returned to his writing, channeling the terrors he had faced into a best-selling novel that served as a warning to those who dared to tread into the shadows of the past. But even as he moved on with his life, Francis couldn't shake off the feeling that the hotel's dark presence still lingered, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to stumble upon its chilling secrets.